Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this Chelsea talk show, man. Chelsea news show. It's been a while. It's been a while, guys. How are you all doing? I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone is well. Sorry, I've been away. I've been away. I've been to Tenerife for a while. We will talk a little bit about the Man City game, but we're going to talk a lot around Chelsea news in and around Poch coming in, midfield options, striker options, Mason Mount. Everything that's going on with Chelsea at the moment, we will be discussing right here. But I need every single one of you guys to smash that like button. How quickly can we get these likes up is the big one. Got lots to get into today. We've got the panel coming back as well. So the panel will be in with us today on the show as well to discuss everything Chelsea. Wasn't a great let's be serious. The Man City game is what it is. The reason I didn't do a match reaction to it is because I'm kind of signed off. I'm pretty much sure that you guys, as the fans, are signed off on what we've seen this season. But what we can do is talk about the future, the moving forwards, what's going on in around us, the new appointment of Poch. What do we expect moving forward? All these little things that are going to have to come together and make they've got to make it work. We now need to move forward as Chelsea Football Club. We now need to start seeing improvements in what we are trying to do as well. We're going to go through all of that. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and let's cue that intro. People, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV on this beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day in the UK. It is boiling, and this is why I've got a vest on, because it is very hot in this room at the moment. There's no way in hell I could sit here for an hour and a half or 2 hours talking to you guys and sweating my nuggets off. But how is everyone, man? Firstly, how is everyone? I've not seen you all for a while. Nice to see everyone back. Let's see RD. What's RD saying? He says, big up, Jem. Long time no see. Mount leaving means Chelsea have a chance to win the Premier League finally. Again, I'll say this as nice as possible. One player leaving or one player staying doesn't make the difference in Chelsea even getting anywhere near to the Premier League. We know what needs to be done. We've had discussions about what Chelsea need to do to make things work, to make things happen. And it's an accumulation of not only just one thing, it's everything. It starts from top to bottom, and that's the thing. It doesn't just start with one or two players. It starts with the owners, and then it starts with the manager, then it goes all the way down to the players. It's a collective problem for me. Free Mount, big up Leo as well. What you saying? No, it's a gem stream. Big up. Reese, what you saying, bro? Stream Elements is in the building. Eric Blue, never seen you in a while, brother. How are you doing, Eric? Nice to see you in the house, my man. All right, Mount is not that bad, but he is also not that good. But he's also not that bad. You know, people make Mason Mount sound like he's like this horrible, awful player. He's not. You know, he generally ain't. He just isn't. Zane's in the building. Big up Zane. So Jim Mount could be a long transfer saga. It could be. It could be. But at the end of the day, there's one real key thing in all of this as well. Yes, there's Man United, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Liverpool's, Arsenal's, supposedly all scoping around for wanting Mason Mount. But we also have a new manager. And the new manager is going to have ideas with what they want to do, what he wants to do with certain players. He might see Mason Mount as an important player on the team, whether it's on the pitch or even off the pitch. There's a lot of things that we don't know. We don't know. You know, and maybe Poch likes Mount, maybe he don't. But we will find out in the summer. I'd keep Mount, big asset to the team. I don't see any problem with that. We need, first of all, striker. We are playing without a number 9 for so many years. After that, we need a new keeper, playmaker like Fabregas was. I agree and I disagree. We do need a striker. That is something I think we can all agree. We need to get someone that can put the balls in back in net. We have had striker in the past, and it still didn't work. And there was a big reason to that. Not only was it profile of player, which is very key when it comes to picking players, because if there's one thing for sure, you can buy all the best players in the world and put a manager in charge. But if you don't have a system or a game plan or a setup, and then you bring in players that actually influence that setup, and you just buy players who actually maybe ain't the best suited to what you're trying to do, then you have problems. And that's what we've done in the past. I think we've just bought very blindfolded. Very blindfolded. Oh, we just have him, or have him, or have him. Yeah, he's 100 million. Yeah, he scored 40 goals in Europe last season. Let's just get him. You know, everyone's talking about him. We need to get away from that. Chelsea have to be more clever. We have to be more clever in the window. You know, Enzo Fernandez was a big example of clever business. Very clever business. We noticed that there was an area that we needed to improve on, creativity. We noticed that we needed to improve the midfield. He gives us that. Yes, we brought him in. And like I said to you guys when we bought Enzo Fernandez, it won't be enough. He needs to have someone next to him. So these are all things that are good. There are also some bad, in my opinion, in terms of what we have done as well. Big up to Bobby. He says, I've sickened by the state of the club. I've had to stay off SM for my mental health. I know, bro, but I wouldn't say it's been a disaster. Again, I think people are overblowing it a bit as well, in my opinion. I don't think it's as bad as people make it sound. You know? Yeah, we've had some real shit moments. Yeah, they should own the fact that they've mucked up with the managers. Just be serious. They should never have got rid of Thomas Tuchel at the beginning. That's just that is it. Forget Graham Potter and Lampard and whatever else. That was the biggest mistake they made. They made that decision with no guidance, with no board. They decided to take a jump and they got burnt for it. And I think they're aware of that. But when you look at the squad itself, when you look at where we've gone and players we brought in, I guarantee most of yous, when they were all coming in, were saying we want them. Sterling, Enzo, Fofana, Koulibaly, Cucurella. These are all players that we were all, oh my God, I want that player. Oh my God, we got him. We beat Man City to him. These are not shit players. These are not shit players. These are players that we wanted. The issue is, and I keep telling you this, we don't have an identity. We don't have a game plan. We don't play with any real strong setup 11. We don't know what that is. We haven't known that for about 3 years. You know, there's a lot of things on the pitch that are a problem. The managers don't help because we keep switching and changing again because we're trying to find the right manager. You know, at the same time, yeah, they've made some mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. Like some people, they need to understand that. And I knew we was going to go through a transition this season. Maybe not this bad. It's 12th. But I knew it was going to be hard. Time for him to go if Chelsea is his heart. Wait and see. Well, that's the thing. We'll wait and see. Neymar. I'm not even getting into that one. The midfielder needs a revamp. If he leaves, all good. If he stays, all good. He ain't a Hazard level kind of talent of Reece James kind of talent. I won't feel bad if he joins another club. But that, again, falls down to opinions. And I don't mind that. If that's how you look and you see the player and what you feel, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Not the season has been. No, the season results. The Tuchel's getting sacked was the beginning of the free fall. No, it was. Yeah, you're right. The manager issue is an issue. We can't ignore that, Starslow. Yeah, but in terms of where we've gone to now, yeah, I think they maybe gone a bit too quick in terms of picking players and getting £600 million worth of players. But they also have an idea. That idea is not going to be carried out in one season. What you guys thought was going to happen in one season, I don't know. It was never going to just go bang and we're going to be up there. It's just not going to happen. Unfortunately, these blips are going to happen and they're happening hard. And we're having to take it on the chin and it's crap. It's not nice because we're not used to it. But it is still early doors. And whether or not you feel they can do it or not, it's still too early doors. And that's the problem with it all. Get rid of Tuchel was a massive shame that he got. So I agree. They've made mistakes. I'm not even ignoring it. They've made mistakes. But I also feel that they've made some good ones as well. I have to say, hearing all the fans moaning constantly makes me think they need some perspective. Chelsea have had an arse season, but they're not getting relegated and they'll be better next year. Well, that's the hope. And that's the big question. And this is where the pressure comes. And this is what we're going to talk about today because we've been shit. I knew we've been crap, of course. But the pressure does build up year after year. And they have to get things right. And by getting things right, They have to get it right on and off the pitch. They're making a big announcement. And I have said this. The next manager is big. The next announcement of who comes through that door, they have to get spot on. Yeah, they fucked up before. And I moved forward from that, in my opinion. Some people won't. I have moved on with it. Right? But now they have to get it right. For the sake of this, for this club, for what it means for Chelsea Football Club, where we have been for a while. We haven't really competed well for a long time. Yeah, we won the Champions League, but domestically, we've been a disaster. We've not been nowhere near it. And this is not something that's just happened now under Todd Bowley and Egbali. This was happening under Roman Abramovich. But we choose to ignore it. We choose to ignore it. It's just something that we've had a problem for a while. We need to be more consistent in the league domestically. We need to make sure that we're up there fighting for it, which we haven't been. And there's a lot of problems that have been built up for that. Talking about him not being as good as Hazard is not an opinion, it's a fact. Obviously, Stars, fuck me. Big up, Jimmy. If Mount leaves, I hope the Simps will follow him out. Big up, Sam. We'll see him ball out another club madness, is what John says. Osmihan to Chelsea. What do you think? We're going to talk about that later. We've got strikers to talk, managers to talk as well. We're going to get into everything in a second. There are no guarantees. It is right what Mark says. Roman threw money at problems. We can't do that anymore. And that's true, Mark. That's actually true as well. Right, let's get into what I have got for you guys. And I'm going to start, obviously, want to start off with the Ben Jacobs comment today in regards to when the window will open and when the window will close. So the answer to that, guys, is this. The Premier League confirms the summer window will open on Wednesday, the 14th of June, and will close at 11 o'clock on Friday, the 1st of September. And the January window will all open on Monday, the 1st of January 2024 and close on the 1st of Feb. So pretty much near enough the same. Actually, I think in the past, the transfer windows have been carried through September, I think up to the 15th, if I'm right. It might have been a little bit longer or the end of September. Obviously, now they've brought it a bit forward. Obviously, the 14th of June to the 1st of September means that in, 3 weeks' time? 2 weeks' time? 3 weeks' time? We will have the window open and the madness will begin. The madness will begin, people. No, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I've not even said that. Stop going on about it. Stop going on about it, mate. I ain't even getting into this. Musa, big up to you. Let's just take the Mace money, invest it in Felix or even a Madison, any better player who wants to be at Chelsea. We're going to talk about Felix later as well. So there we go. That's that. Then we move on to the talks on the supposed reward ceremony that Chelsea were meant to have, which we ain't having. Which are you surprised? Are you shocked? Chelsea have decided against holding an end of season awards night after their troubled season. The club felt a ceremony at Stamford Bridge would be inappropriate given they are languishing in the bottom half of the table and will register their lowest ever points in the Premier League. Yeah, scrap it. What player is going to want to get up and get player of the season in our worst season ever? And one of our worst seasons I've ever seen. No one. No one. So I don't blame them. Ashraf, big up, bro. How you doing, my man? Guys, there's nearly 120 of you here. Smash the likes, guys. If you haven't done already, the one thing we haven't been getting a lot of is likes. And the more likes we get, the more it helps the algorithm of YouTube. And it allows us to obviously grow the channel and get more people across. So please, everyone, if you haven't done already, smash the likes buttons. Let's get these likes up as quickly as we possibly can. Right. We move on from that. And now we're going to go into Todd Bowley. Now, Todd Bowley's and the owners have had a very challenging first season at the least. And obviously, we have this comment here from CFC Pies. Big up to him. He says, Todd Bowley is handling more responsibility to the sporting directors, spending 20% of his time on day-to-day activities at Chelsea. Basically, the people that have their knowledge, the people that they're paying to come in are now going to be set to doing their job. Todd Bowley, Egbali will still probably be involved heavily in signings, in my opinion. I still think that obviously the sign-offs and whatever, the contract lengths, the discussions, the agreements, the whatever, obviously still go through them. But it will change in terms of full control, in terms of how, how they have been in their first season. They had to be it, in my opinion. They had to do what they did in the first season because of the raw element of getting rid of everyone very quickly, which could have been, again, a big mistake from their side. The board was emptied out. We got rid of Thomas Tuchel. We brought in one manager. It's just 3 people. And then obviously we started filling up the recruitment team as the season was going on. And it's now got itself to a point where they do need to take a bit of a step back. They do need to allow the people that they pay to do their jobs, to find the next big talents, to do what they need to do. To do what they need to do, in my opinion. They ain't the most experienced. They ain't here to know by looking at an individual who they have no clue about that he's the right player to bring across. They're not that. That's not their job. The job is Paul Winstanley, Lawrence, Vivell. These are the people that need to get this done. Jim, the issues are deeper than the managers and the organisational chaos. Have you seen the latest reports on our wage bill? We are sitting ducks for FFP. Bobby, let me explain this quite clearly as well, bro. While we may be looking at quite a heavy wage bill, and there's a big key in why we have got a heavy key wage bill, is the sheer size of the overall squad that Chelsea incorporate or have at the moment. And it's not just players that we have in our starting 11. This also goes to the players that they've brought along and the players they got out on loan. Now, this summer window is very key into what we do. And one of the big things that they will be doing this summer, I think we'll be doing and we will see, is that we will see a lot of players being swiped off the books. It's not only just because they're not good enough for us or that it's not working or the player wants to leave, but yes, it will also be to be able to balance the books. Also remember that we've signed a lot of players in a loophole on a 6 or 7 year contract, which means even though they may have cost us a lot of money to bring across, the installment plan of the individual player that we brought along on a 7-8 year contract kind of offsets and maybe makes our book look a little bit better and allow us to be more active in markets rather than having a window where you can't do anything that you basically can't do anything. So you're right. It might not look pretty at the moment, but the truth is, in all of this, is that they just need to have a bit of an empty out. And I think that's going to happen. And that will change. That wage bill will change. They have an idea of what they're trying to do and structure of how they're going to pay players. They will do. They're businessmen. And getting Enzo Fernandez signed and they're only paying him, I think, 100 or just over 100k a week is crazy. João Felix is here on a loan, which is quite expensive. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be doing that again. Like there's a couple of things. There's a lot of things that they need to do, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how and what happens. This is a huge summer, huge. I can't even stress it. The first one wasn't huge for me. It wasn't. It was just, what are they going to do? But now, from what we've seen from then to now, the second summer window for me is big in all ways. Manager appointments, outgoings, incomings. Big, key. Do they do any more on sporting directors? Do we actually get the now sporting director at the helm? At least 7 to 8 players must leave our club so that we can buy new players. I reckon we'll be getting rid of more. People keep forgetting that it's not just the players on the pitch, guys. On the pitch. It's also players off the pitch that are on loans that we have signed that, they're not going to keep all of these guys. We've got a huge squad in the summer, mad squad that needs emptying out. What's the possibility of shipping out 11? Easy. I think it could happen. And it won't just be, players that we know and see every week. It'll be players that are on loan. It'll be players that, you know, are semi-well known, that people actually like. Some of the youth, I reckon, that they probably like. And then maybe someone wants them and signs them. It will go. It will happen. It's going to happen. Big up Winter Surfer, bro. Hope you're good, my man. He says, the fear-mongerish has started again in this fan base, Jim. It is all doomsday scenarios. No one will willing to think about the possibility of them selling, but for cheaper than what we think. Of course. You think Lukaku's going to stay? I'd be shocked if he does. I don't think he will. We already heard that Kovacic wants to leave. We already know Ziyech's going. Pulisic's probably going to go. Havertz looks like he may go. Mount's talking about going. That's just the main core. Aspilicueta going, in my opinion. I don't think he'll be around. Thiago Silva, even though I think he will stay for another season. That's just the core. Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek to AC Milan, potentially. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get rid of all of them, but there's a lot of players that I've just listed that we know about, that we see, without the players that ain't even in the team, that we could also be selling and be getting rid of. That's what I'm saying, and I agree with Winter Surfer. I think we just need to relax, man. Just relax and wait. I agree it's a big summer. They will be judged for me on what they do in this summer, because I need to see. It's going to be interesting to see where we go with all this and what we do. But let's just wait. Let's just wait. Bubba Ra, man. Ampadu, like, come on. There's a lot of players. There's a lot. It's a lot of players. There's a lot of players. Gallagher will be starting for Poch. I don't think so, Mark. I don't think Gallagher's good enough, in my opinion. I don't think Gallagher's anywhere good enough. Right, that takes me into the next thing, which is Mason Mount. Because there was a lot of talks around him today, and I thought, you know what? Let's get into it. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm getting quite bored of it. I am a bit bored of this Mason Mount saga. He still ain't signed a contract. The owners obviously haven't come to an agreement with him on that. Doesn't mean that he won't sign a contract, can I just also say, and I think you have to be prepared for that. There's also the flip side of the new manager coming in and his system, his idea. Does this player fit what I want to do? Pochettino might have a big say once he comes through the door. But at the flip side of it, it does not shock me that some of these clubs are interested in him, because he's a good player to have in the squad. He's not world-class Eden Hazard level. Nowhere near it. We know that. But he's definitely not rubbish, in my opinion. And he can be utilised. Mason Mount to launch Man United to launch a £55 million bid for Mason Mount. The valuation falls below what Chelsea want, but room for negotiations. Liverpool, Arsenal also in the hunt. Pochettino wants him to stay. You know, at the end of the day, it falls to this for me. This is it. This is what I think about the Mason Mount saga. This is it. The owners either have to agree to what he wants, which I don't think they're going to do, because I think he's trying to push quite a higher wage set, in my opinion. If he's not happy with what he's being given, then he needs to go. That is it. Whether you love the player or you hate the player, if the owners and them cannot compromise on where they want to be in the middle or meet in the middle, both shake hands on it, instead of dragging this out and making it like this, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, fucking all these clubs that want him, just come to agreement, yes or no, and whatever, move. If he stays, I wouldn't be annoyed. If he goes, he goes. Doesn't want to be here. The owners haven't met the terms that he wants. He doesn't want to play for anything less than what he's being offered by the owners. It goes both ways. It's not just the owners. It's also Mason Mount. It's both ways. So at the end of the day, you either come to an agreement somehow and get it done in the summer, or he just goes. And maybe that decision's already been made. Maybe that decision's already been made for Mason Mount. Maybe we're just waiting. Who knows? Maybe he gets announced in the summer. Maybe he gets announced that he's going and it's done. I don't know. Minerals just got sent the ICU. Look, we know how much Johnny loves Mason Mount. And that's fine. Mason Mount's been a good player for Chelsea, in my opinion. Very young still, very raw. There is no get the best out of him. Yeah, but he's... I think Mason Mount's a good player to have within your squad. I think you can utilise him. I think if you get him on the right side, he's happy and he's playing his football and he fits the system, he's good. He played well in his first 2 seasons at Chelsea, in my opinion, and actually stepped up in games when we needed someone. He's shown that. He's contributed to goals, even though it's not a massive amount of goals. He's contributed. He's won the Champions League with us. He's not an atrocious player, guys. But then that's the problem, isn't it, Reese? That's the problem right there. Because if he wants 300k, he's not getting it. Because these owners ain't even giving the new players that they're signing anywhere near that. All right, Raheem Sterling's maybe one of the only ones that's doing that or got that. Based on probably his resume and who he is and what he's about and what he's won. He needs to step up big time. Get Maddison to replace Mount is what Silvercrest say. Maddison. I don't know about Maddison, guys. I'm not sure with that one. Imagine Mount and Rice both joining Arsenal. Alex Goldberg won't recover. That's funny. Did you not listen to the beginning of my conversation, Chelsea Blue? Never blew, but I never blamed the owners. You must have missed the first part of what I said. You probably just come in. I said it goes both ways. I think it goes both ways. I don't think it's just the owners. I think it's also Mason Mount. I said it's both. I said both, brother. 24 is young. That's a push, dude. He's been playing for first team for almost 6 years. Koulibaly is on 295k a week. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I need to check that. I can actually check that now. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. It actually says he is. I think he just looked at it. I actually didn't even know that. Koulibaly's on nearly 300k a week. No way. That can't be right. He gets 15.3 million. That's gross. This is quite interesting, actually. Let's look at this quickly. I actually haven't looked at this in a while. I actually haven't looked at this. So here we go. Anyone wants to know who's on what? There we go. Gross per week, gross per year. Signed, dates of contract, etc. Right? We go back a bit because we've got the years remaining on contracts. Gross remaining. It's quite a good, actually, little... Oh, I'm not doing it. So Raheem Sterling takes 325k per week gross, which is about 16 million a year. He has a gross remaining of 84.5 million left to be paid. He's on a 5-year contract. Then Koulibaly is on 295k. I didn't even fucking know that. I actually didn't know that. Jesus. N'Golo Kante's on 290, and we know that he's coming at the end of his year. Will he extend? Will he go? We'll find out. Reece James, we know, signed a $250,000 deal with Chelsea on a 6-year. Ben Chilwell's also still got 5 years left on 200k. Wesley Fofana has agreed a 200k deal with Chelsea on 7 years. And then you've got João Felix, who is on loan, who's taking 195k a week. I mean, Aspilicueta on 180k is a joke. Get rid of it. That needs to stop now. That needs to go. So that'll be gone. Enzo Fernandez is on 180k a week. Marc Cucurella is 175. Aubameyang is on 160. Get rid. Ditch. Kepa's still on 150. Pulisic's on 150. Kai Havertz is on 150. One of three will be gone, maybe two. Ruben's still taking 120. Thiago Silva's on 110, and then Kovacic is on 100. And then the rest of them all dropped under the 100 mark. Noni Madueke's on 50k. Chalobah's on 50k. Conor Gallagher's on 50k. Brower's on 40k. Lewis Hall only gets 7k a week. That's still dough, though. 7k a week. Even Dacho Fofana's on 30k. Mason Mount's on 80k a week at the moment. Mason Mount is on 80k a week. Mason Mount's on 80k a week. Jesus. I'm really intrigued to know what he actually wanted. Like what he genuinely wanted from Chelsea. So intrigued to know. Guys, nearly over 200 people in it. Smash the likes up, guys. Got the panel coming on very soon as well. We're going to go on to the midfield and the options into midfield quickly for Chelsea. We're going to talk about this guy who has been, in my opinion, the best summer signing by far. I think he's been our best summer signing. Or best signing, sorry, of the whole of the season. Chelsea are taking in time to decide on the new number 6 because they want the best or perfect partner for Enzo Fernandez. He needs someone to allow him to be the real Enzo, someone who can run a lot. What does that mean? Well, think about it. Doesn't mean that he's lazy and he won't do his bit, because he does. He gets around, but he just doesn't get around as he's not defensively minded. But what he needs is someone that's going to say, like a Latvia, what's his name, Ugarte, of Varas, for example, someone that's going to go, right, I'm here. This time, you go. You go, you get the ball, you help the attack, you make it flow. You do what you do best. You make it tick. And he showed it against Man. Even though Man City was a game where we all expected to lose. And he was frustrated. I see him slapping the floor. He was, but Lampard gave him clear instructions in that game to push forward more, to win the ball higher up. Don't sit back. The way that we've been using Enzo Fernandez this whole season is in a DM role and asking him to hold and sit. It's not that. It's not that. But in about a 5-10 minute cameo in the first half, when we started actually getting more of the ball and getting forward and actually creating chances, all of the chances mainly came through this guy. Because whether we won it back quickly and he played the ball quickly through the middle or over the top or around the side, he's shown the ability to be able to create anywhere on the pitch quickly. And he's the big key in the wheel, in the door into us going into next season for me. Because when it comes to unlocking these low blocks at home, when it comes to having the eye to create, we saw it against Leicester. The lob over the top when Leicester were deep, all in their box. He lobs the ball over the top and Havertz scores. We saw it against West Ham. Picks the ball up. João Felix makes the run. Pathologically, ball over the top. He finishes. He's also been robbed of many assists this season, in my opinion. He got robbed of an assist against Man City. The guy is like, I can't explain. We have missed this guy. We've missed this type of player for a long time. We've missed this type of player for a long time. And I'm just glad we got him. But he needs someone next to him, and he is so important. We've got to make sure we get the best out of him. And by getting the best out of Enzo Fernandez means that we need to have someone that can hold and sit. And this, for me, it's got to be one of the most important things that we do in the summer. We're being told that Romeo Latvia, again last week, is still on. Sporting Lisbon's Manuel Ugarte, who is available for 53 million, is also an option. Is also an option. Now, we lack this specific type of player. tremendously. And when you look at Poch and you look at the systems of Poch in the past, he always has someone in the middle that holds it. So he'll play a 4-2-3-1. He does like a 4 at the back. But in the pivot, he will have one or two players that are quite physical. Now, what I think he's going to do with Enzo Fernandez, and I'll say what I think he's going to do with Enzo Fernandez, is what I think he done with Christian Eriksen. That is what I think he's going to try and do with Enzo Fernandez. And when you think about Christian Eriksen under Pochettino and how good he really was, I mean, Christian Eriksen was a baller under Pochettino. I think that is what Pochettino is going to try and do with Enzo Fernandez. Giving him the freedom role, allowing him to pick up the ball and make things happen, be further up the pitch than he has been, outside the box taking shots, because I know he can do that, because he has the ability to do that. He will be treated, in my opinion, like Christian Eriksen. There's also talks about Caicedo. I think Caicedo is actually a top player. I just think it depends on the price tag with him. But then you're going to spend about 50, 60 million trying to get one of these sixes anyway. Would I be disappointed in Caicedo, Latvia, or Ugarte? No. They're great options. Big up Fata with a donation. He says, Enzo is going China, Indonesia after the season. Argentina versus Australia and Argentina versus Indonesia. Hopefully he'll be ready by the 1st of July. Yeah, it's probably good that he goes. Whether he plays, I'm not too sure. I think he might be given, that most of the bigger players will be given a little break, in my opinion. Have you watched him for Southampton this season, bro? Have you watched him? I think with Latvia, I think it's more, he's still very young, very raw. But I watched this guy completely boss our midfield this season. Like, manhandled our midfield. And to say that he hasn't got the ability is mad. Big up. Ugarte is 55 million fair price, is what Ashraf says. I'm glad season was done. Same. I want on his Declan Rice. He has it all, plus brings leadership qualities. That's not a bad shout. But again, with Declan Rice, it depends on what we get him for. And it doesn't really feel like we're really that interested. But who knows? Summer can change. Yeah, we see that. Sorry, guys. I just got a message that I had to respond to. Sorry. Yes. So it's going to be key. But equally, I can see it happening. And I think it will be one of the big key decisions made in terms of transfers this season over to Chelsea. Massive. Already know. And it's not about what's more important than the other, because we know with strikers important. We know we need someone to do that. And we move on to the striker discussion, because João Felix confirms he wants to stay at Chelsea. I don't know yet on my future, but I love these months. I would really like to be here. It's a top club. Everyone has been really good to me. João Felix added. I think with João Felix, it all depends on who goes and who stays. And if we're going to have a big empty out and we see Pulisic go, let's say Mount goes, Havertz is up for sale, of course, the option to buy João Felix becomes an option. But for me, it falls down to who stays. I'm, as you already know, being quite sceptical of João Felix. I was at the beginning of the season. I carried the same energy before we even signed him. My worries with him was that he's talented and he shows it. But I just feel that there's for what he's valued at, I just feel that there's a couple of holes in him. Now, Pochettino could completely make him something else. Who knows? He could be really good under Poch. But then it falls down to what systems we play. Because if we get a striker, and we already have Nkunku, I think Nkunku starts in the 10. Maybe Zhao plays off the right or the left. We've seen it. We have seen him do it, and it works. But it's good to have options at the same time. And it just all falls down to what we do with him. Because if it's just a loan move, then I'm good to listen to it, depending on us getting it right. I think the loan's probably right again if we can get him on a loan, because I think Athletic Madrid are going to take the piss. I think they're going to take the piss out of us. And they're going to want a lot, and I just don't think he merits the lot from what I've seen. Regarding Enzo, Jem, don't you think long travel hours after the season will impact the fitness? Bear in mind they only have 10 days before 1st of July. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying to you. I don't think he will be utilised in that anyway. Even if he travels, I think it'll just be, we'll see. Maybe he plays, but I just don't think that you'll see a lot of him. He's not complete enough for us. He fizzes. He just disappears. He's meant to be one of the biggest names in football. Like João Felix is known. People know him across the world. There was talks about him being like up there. I don't think he merits what he was worth. What do you think of James Ward-Prowse? Not sure. I'm not sure if he's ready for a jump up to like a team like Chelsea or a bigger team, shall I say. I'm not sure is the answer to that. Havertz, Aspilicueta, Ziyech, Pulisic, Mendy out, Gallagher. Yeah, but then you'd probably see him play off the left. And then you've got Mudryk there that you spent 80 million on, or 60 million on, which is good because you need options anyway. And options is what we need. But if we get him on loan, I think it'll be interesting. If we get him on loan, I think it'll be interesting. But we have to see with João Felix because a lot could happen. But then we go on to the strikers, and the strikers being, oh, fuck's sake. My camera's cut off, guys. Romelu Lukaku. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, sorry guys, I've got a bit of a dodgy camera at the moment. It's just doing my head in. What was I going on to? Yeah, Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku. Now, this is one. We're talking about strikers and we're talking about bringing them back. I don't want to see Romelu Lukaku anywhere near Chelsea. Oh, what is my camera doing? Camera's breaking down, guys. Let me just drop the link into the panel as well because I don't want to be. What is going on? 2 seconds, guys. I am sorry. Let me just quickly refresh this. I'm back. I'm back. Oh, don't, Lewis, man. I'm having a bit of a problem with my camera at the moment, Lewis, bro. It's driving me mad. How you doing, Lewis? We'll have the redecoration. Just literally just threw everything on the chair, bro. Moving like Lukaku, that camera. I know. As soon as I mentioned Lukaku, my camera died. Guys, there's 200 people here. Big out every single one of you guys that are in here right now. I appreciate you. Romelu Lukaku suggests he wasn't fully into the mega Chelsea transfer, the mega Chelsea transfer on a long-term basis. I was good at Chelsea last season, but I knew that if I didn't work out at Chelsea, I still had Inter. What does that even fucking mean? When I signed again, I knew I belong here. I had that attitude at Anderlecht. I take this club seriously. I want to do my best. The club here see that being encouraged here is the best thing there is. Basically, this lump should never have come to us in the first place. I just can't have Romelu Lukaku at Chelsea. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't bear it. It's just his attitude, his stinky comments, even now. I was good at Chelsea last season. No, you weren't. You weren't good at Chelsea. You weren't. You weren't, mate. He caused absolute nightmares. I don't want the guy here. I don't want the guy here. I don't think he's good enough for us. I don't think he would even suit what Poch would want in terms of how he plays systems, because he wants strikers that are a bit more mobile, get around, get involved, do their bit. I don't think he does that. We need someone that fits our style of play. And we need someone that actually moves around, and that just ain't him. I think we will come to an agreement where he will stay at Inter. Whether we can just wipe him off the books and sell him would be great. I would love it. We'd have to wait and see. There is talks about one striker, though. Victor Osimhen. Chelsea are still pushing. They want him as their striker. He is top of the list. Understand the price expectation is 110 million euros plus Boney at this stage. But CFC has to sell players first. And De Laurentiis wants more. And at least for 150 million. Problematic for Chelsea. No Champions League next season. Yeah, of course he is. Because he wants to make a big move where he can play in Champions League football. Top of that, 150 million euros is fucking ridiculous. 150 million euros for Victor Osimhen is a lot of money. And yeah, he might be good. But is he worth 150 million euros? We already know that negotiating with Napoli is a nightmare, is a problem. So at the end of the day, what other options have we got? There ain't many. Who else is out there that we could get? Ivan Toney's on a ban for 8 months, which is a shock. Can't even use him, who I would have not minded. Harry Kane, will he leave Spurs? Will Spurs for once sell to Chelsea? He likes Poch. Starts at that point. Yeah, he does. And he probably won't go for that. You know, you probably get a bid for about 110 million euros, which is about 90 odd million. And maybe he's worth that, but he's not worth 150 million, is he? Let's be serious. We've done the same thing with Romelu Lukaku. Spent 100 million on that waste of space that thinks he was good for 100 million. He was a waste. I would, but he can't play for 8 months. He can't play. So what do we do? Where do we go? Who would be available? There's talks about Chelsea would want Vlahovic as well. You know, I've seen that one. Vlahovic to Chelsea. Just reading a statement, actually, from... I don't even know if it's worth even talking about, to be honest. But yeah, we move from that. Yeah, what options have we got? Blood froze. Lewis, I was reading something. Lewis, come on, bro. I haven't seen you in ages. Come on. I haven't spoke to you, man. Come and join me, man, for a little bit, if you're free. Let's have a little chat. Just a little chat. I'm not going to be on for long anyway. Just waiting. I'm just waiting for this season to end, Lewis. I've sent you the link, Lewis. If you're around, come and have a chat, man. Good to have a little chat with you. Well, Juve paid 80 million for Vlahovic. You think they're willing to let him go on the cheap? No, I reckon Vlahovic will be about. I've just sent it to you, Lewis. On yeah, the boy. What's happening, man?
Yes, bro. How was the holiday?
It was all right, man. 10 days of sun. I mean, I didn't miss much with Chelsea. I did watch it, but what is it to like?
Any mental health break from this football club is well deserved. We got another 4 days left and this crap's done. I take it you're not going United then?
Nah, bro. I mean, I'm not even been doing match reactions because it's just I don't. What is there to say anymore? What is it
Bro,
that we haven't said
Chelsea
already?
content. You know how so many people say, "Oh, like you only do this for when we lose and for all the views." Bro, the losses are not helping our content, by the way.
No,
This has been the deadest, like, my content and my views have been since I've done Chelsea YouTube. And it's been when we lose every week because we're boring. Nobody cares about us anymore. We lose every week. It's not funny. People don't watch us anymore to watch our reactions when we lose because we lose every week. So, yeah, it's just dead. It's dead. There's no point talking about anything. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm going United. I'm still debating it.
I wouldn't put yourself through it, bro. What's the point? I don't like. Can't you see? Even in the City game, they're just signed off, bro. They're just not interested. There's only a handful of players on that pitch against Man City that looked interested. You had Enzo Fernandez slapping the floor in the half, in the first half because he was just frustrated with the way we were playing. Like, and you're right. It makes it very hard. How many shows have we done on the back of losing this season, whether it was under Graham Potter, where we've just sit here and just slandered and moaned about the same things? I just can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Like I have 5 things on this channel. Ooh. That's been the hardest show in history over the last month or two. Because what did I learn? I haven't learned anything. We lose every week. We don't finish. We're shit. There you go.
I just want the summer to come, bro, so I can, because I keep telling people, I think this summer is huge, not only just for the appointment of the manager, because that is big in itself. The outgoings is massive. How? Because we've got too many players anyway. They're going to be gone. So it's who goes. And then it's also the incomings as well. And it's like, how much are we going to progress moving into next season? Because we can't go into like we have this season. This is a pure write-off. This is just disgusting. It's unacceptable. But at the same time, it's a build-up not just from these owners. People keep blaming these owners for everything, yeah. But this has happened for fucking time. This is accumulation. I keep telling people.
It's everybody's fault.
It's an accumulation from the Romanen era, from the players that we signed back then that still don't want to fucking be here or are not good enough. The manager switches. Where I blame them, and I've said this with the owners, is the decision that they made at the beginning when they decided to just get rid of everything and even Tuchel and just make a decision off the top of their brain with no experience, which they did. And they suffered for it, and we suffered for it.
The owners are partly to blame. The players are partly to blame. The old regime is partly to blame. I even say Tuchel is partly to blame for where we are. The managers that we've had since him, everybody, literally everybody is culpable for where we are right now. Tuchel was the one that didn't want to reinforce the midfield and said we were happy with Gallagher being our N'Golo Kante and having Ruben. The old regime with 5 years of shitty transfer windows has put us in that situation. We weren't going to make top 4 even with Tuchel in charge. I never thought we were going to make it. Players just haven't been good enough and have fuck all application. All of the coaches since Tuchel have been idiots, except laughably Bruno Saltor, and he didn't even want to be here. Everybody's to blame. Everybody's culpable. That's why I don't like this idea that, it's just the owners or, it's just the players, just the management. No, everybody wants to blame their own individual thing. They're all culpable, every single one of them.
I actually agree with that, and I've been saying that for a while. When people just sit there moaning about Mason Mount, if we get rid of him, we'll win the league. What are you talking about? You don't just get rid of like this. If you can't see that there's just an overall big problem at Chelsea from top to bottom, like Lewis has said, then I don't get it. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, in the summer, this summer specifically, it is a huge summer for us. It's massive, this second season for me. And it falls down to all the things that I said that they need to do. and get moving, because if they have an idea, they have a project, they have what they want to do, and it's not being carried out. But now they have to get it right, because they can't just keep sacking managers and making the wrong decisions. It's not going to hold. They're bringing in Poch, who I'm still not 100% sure on in terms of the next step. What I think Poch will do at Chelsea is maybe getting us playing in a system that works. And we, maybe not as bad as we've been this season, but we start progressing in that way. But it's how far can Poch actually take this squad, which is going to have good players in next season, by the way. And Nkunku's coming in.
Yeah, like I'm optimistic for next season with Pochettino, but I also don't think we just outright take top 4 like that. There's too much competition there. Like, I'm not going to be Poch out if we don't make top 4, but it will also depend on the context. Like, is it a couple of points? What's the reason why we didn't make it and all of that? But it's not going to be easy getting straight back there either. As long as we have a style of play, as long as I see considerable improvements from the start of the season to the end of the season, and we win a trophy, because we should be prioritizing the cups, I'll take it as a positive season.
Game plan.
We have to see what happens.
We've not had one game plan, even starting with Potter. Maybe the Milan games where we were bottom of the Champions League and we managed to get first. That was the one little part of something where we actually looked okay, in my opinion. But other than that, we go into games with no game plan, no idea. Our football is shite. I've never seen build-up play as bad as us.
Like, it's laughable at times.
Against Man City, I was laughing because we were trying to play it out of the back, right? Against Man City, who we know are going to pressure high to win the ball back high, because that's what they do. They dominate possession. And we had no outlay. We were just... players didn't even know what they were doing. I wasn't even shocked that Wesley Fofana passed the ball like that. I'll be honest with you. Because we wasn't doing anything moving forward with it anyway. It was only later in the second half.
We set ourselves up to fail with that lineup anyway. It was
that lineup. I don't get this thing with Gallagher. I don't get it. People keep saying, yeah, it gives you legs. I heard it with Mason Mount. But at least Mason Mount had something in him, even like he was just more, he was better. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Gallagher just runs around. That's it.
That's all he is. It's just work rate and like no technical quality. But Gallagher, I feel like we had to have start because of all the injuries. It was Ruben that made less sense to me. If you're trying to sell this guy and he's already got talks of AC Milan and he's injury prone as fuck, why are you rushing him into this game against City? You shouldn't be playing
lineup, Lewis. That lineup screamed. If you look at that lineup specifically, that screamed to me players that were leaving and trying to get a bit of market value on them. That's what that was. That's what that lineup looked like to me. There was too many players on that pitch that I think were probably going to go anyway. And they just said, you know what, let's try and get him, just put him in this game. And
I don't know, because I don't, other than Ruben, I don't really see it. Like a lot, I don't think a lot of them are going.
Aspilicueta.
Ruben. Oh yeah,
I think Ruben. Gallagher. I think Gallagher. I'm not even joking. I think we might.
Gallagher could be leaving as well, but I think he's a lot more likely to stay than Mount and probably Ruben.
Havertz potentially. Up front again.
Someone's got to be linked with him.
I don't get what. I don't get why I know we haven't got much options, but I don't get why we keep playing him up front. It's stupid.
We had Fofana on the bench and we didn't even bring him on. We decided to play Pulisic up front for the last 5 minutes because of this idiot manager.
You're going to play Havertz. Just play him deeper. I keep saying it. Just play him in behind someone, for fuck's sake. Like, there's no point with Havertz. Like, and then on top of that, Sterling. I mean, how many chances did he have in that game? Fucking hell.
Sterling was fucking atrocious. He had the same game that I cuss Havertz out for. Getting in the right positions, make a bunch of chances, but have dog shit finishing. Weren't even moved when I saw him 1v1. It's what it is. It's dead.
Right. I want to get your thoughts quickly on this going into the summer. Obviously, we spoke about some of the options of what we're going to do. We'll talk about strikers. Obviously, Tony's on a ban, which just sucks because I actually think his profile suits us. But Osman seems to be supposedly the one that Chelsea want again. In shock, he's going to cost around 150 million because, as we know, De Laurentiis is an arsehole when it comes to discussing wages and value for players from their club. I mean, Who's
Yep.
have you got an idea of who you want specifically in this Chelsea team, or what do you think? Like, what do you think we'll
I
do?
did, but he's out until January now, so they're gonna have to try and
Ivan
rethink
Toney.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, same. I
but
can
I
agree.
think our only realistic options are
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic, Lautaro Martinez, or bring the Rat back. And I don't really want to see them come back.
No.
That's realistic. It's
No,
not the one that we want in it, and I
No.
totally understand that.
no.
But if we're talking what the realistic options are, he is one of the realistic.
Can we not get Harry Kane? He's got a good relationship with Poch. Can we maybe sway him across?
Good luck, bro. Daniel Levy wouldn't give us COVID, let alone a football player.
That's true. He hates us, doesn't it? There isn't many options, but the Ivan Toney thing just killed me because he's perfect for us. For me,
I don't mind it, to be fair. I thought it would have been a lot worse. I really thought it would have been worse than that.
So, what do you think of Victor Osimhen? Do you think he's a one? Is there a question mark because he's played in the Italian league and the Premier League's different? We've seen it with Lukaku, scored 30, 40 goals a season, come over, didn't work. I mean, some people say Mitrovic. I don't see that potentially, but I mean, would you be interested in him himself, or do you think he's just too much in terms of value?
Mitrovic.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to him, but I'd like us to look a bit higher.
What about this guy on the picture?
Osimhen, way too expensive. We know how hard Napoli are to negotiate with, and this is before they won their first league title in about 30 years. They're not giving away any of their key players. I wouldn't even waste my time going in for him because it's just going to be too much. Go for him next year, but we need a striker for now, not next year.
It's also about the consistency of it because, we do this in the past, Lewis. We sign players on the back that they're big in Europe. They have a name. They've had a good season. But it's also the consistency of seeing these players doing it every season. We've got to stop jumping the gun and just going, right, 150 million, everyone wants him. He's had a really good season at Napoli. Just get him. We don't really think about how he fits us. Not saying he wouldn't, but how these players fit us. But also, are they consistent in being able to carry another season like they've had onto a next season? Things like that. So I don't know.
Because I feel like Osimhen would do well in the Premier League. Might need a bit of time to adapt, but he does have all of the traits of a good striker in this league. It's just too much money, way too much money, and it's too risky for the flops that we've had on the money that we spent.
This Hodgland guy, I've seen him on Twitter. People keep talking about him on Twitter. Actually, he looks quite tidy, a good finisher, but again, I don't know. I just don't know. I wanted Ivan Toney. I know someone's saying no thanks. I wanted Ivan Toney. I wasn't really set up for anything else. But if it's Vlahovic, I think it's going to depend on price. What we get him for. Is he a goal scorer? Yeah, but will he do well at Chelsea? I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. What's Dodgers saying? Someone just said check Dodgers. What about the midfield for you? Because obviously there's talks about Latvia, there's talks about Ugarte, there's talks about other individuals.
Lavia or Ugarte for me, I'm really not picky with either. They're both great options for us. Yeah, I'm very chill with our midfield options from what I've seen. There's not really been anyone that I'm totally against.
A woman bombarded Mason Mount with messages in his 4-month stalking campaign after he broke off their relationship, a court has heard. TikToker, blah, 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 pleaded guilty to stalking him and his former teammate Billy Gilmore.
We need to get these fangirls out of this football club.
As well as harassing fellow Blue Star Ben Chilwell at a Westminster magistrate.
Oh my god!
What is going on? We don't get a break, do we? We fucking don't get a break. I swear.
Simps everywhere, man. When Mason Mount leaves, fuck off with him to Manchester. I swear down.
Do you think when we was talking about Mason Mount earlier today, do you think with Mason Mount it's a definite he's going, or do you think
definitely it's just a case of what club goes in for him, and I couldn't give a shit where he goes. This brother is not worth all the hype or all the tears that I'm seeing on the timeline. He ain't that guy, bro. He ain't that fucking guy, man. I don't care if he goes to United. I don't care if he goes to Arsenal. I don't care if he goes to Liverpool. And I don't care what he does at those clubs. And I don't want to hear, we should have kept him. It's the next De Bruyne, blah, blah, blah. Cry more. Cry me a fucking river. And hopefully you can birth some standards from it. Because this whole Mason Mount saga.
Let me ask you this.
So
would you be annoyed? Would you be annoyed if he signed?
If he signed for Chelsea?
Yeah.
No. Because I think he'd do well under Pochettino. I think he gets a tune out of him, but I don't think he's a game changer either. I don't look at it like you're selling an Eden Hazard or you're selling a prime N'Golo Kante. He's a good player at most. Like Poch could get better out of him. Arteta could get a tune out of him. Ten Hag could get a tune out of him. So could Jurgen Klopp. But is he De Bruyne? Is he Haaland? Has he got that sort of influence on the team? No. So I don't care that much. I just don't care.
I'm in between. I feel, look, this is the way I see it. You either come to an agreement and you meet in the middle and you get it done, or you just don't. You don't accept what the owners want because you don't feel that you're valued, and you go and you leave the club and you go and play somewhere.
No, but that's what it is. It's already there. He's not accepting. It's already there, though. Like, people are trying to speculate over the next month because they want something to change. It's been the same since February, just reworded news articles every day. They're not Mount isn't accepting any new offers. The board don't value him at the amount that Mount thinks he should be valued at. And that's it. It's finished. He's going to leave in the summer. Everything else is just people crying and writing PR articles talking about how this is a massive failure because they don't want Mason Mount to go. And it's fine because it's a little bit of bias, but he's going. Get over it.
Dan, what do you feel about that, bro?
I don't know how to come behind. That was a lot of vim there, Lewis. You couldn't convince me you didn't care. That was a lot there.
I don't care, but it's when you see the same thing every day, it's like, oh, can you just get over it?
I'm a little bit bored with it. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit done with this whole Mason Mount saga thing.
Same people crying since February. Please move on, please.
I mean, to be fair, you're still crying about Christensen.
Christensen's having a great season.
I don't care what.
That own goal was great. I forgot about that own goal. What a header!
Hey, what a diving header, bro!
You see that? You cried about him till his contract ran out, and even after his contract ran out. So if fans like Mount enough that they want to do that, let them do that. That's on them. You can't complain about them crying about him when you do the same thing.
But I haven't been crying.
He chose violence, Dan.
But that's my point. That is my point. You're upset that fans are upset that he's leaving, but you did the exact same thing for a guy that didn't want to be here.
But I didn't cry about it. I didn't blame the new regime for it either.
I've known you for a while. You cried in every stream about this guy. Come on.
No, we had a nice little minute silence on my stream and everything, which did kind of get
interrupted. No, we didn't. We weren't silent on that stream whatsoever.
Yeah, you lot very, very disrespectful, by the way. But it's fine.
We were violent.
Yeah, we had a nice little minute silence and it was over.
You had to beg Jem to stop. Jem was in the comments. I remember this. He was in the comments going crazy on Christensen.
Yeah, you know what, Jem, to be fair, you did have a pooey Christensen agenda. But we'll address that for another time. We'll address that for another time.
He's fucking shit. But anyway, we move.
But listen. Here's the reality. I'm fine with I've talked to enough people over time. You can't convince somebody who hasn't liked Mount to like him now or to want him. It's okay. It doesn't matter if they don't want him to stay or if they think it's a good price. The only thing is this, is just like I've always said, any player can leave Chelsea. Any single player can leave Chelsea. Are they going to replace him with the right players?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the number one question, right? So if next year we come in and because again, when Pep came into City, didn't he let Joe Hart go?
Right away.
Who was their youth team player and all this? But what did he do? But what did he do the following season? He won the
got rid of that goalkeeper as well.
So yeah. So it's not about fans care, obviously.
They are DK.
They're losing a player. They're really connected to. They rate really highly everything else. Fans are not going to care if they play you.
Joey said got rid of Mata, bro. You got rid of Mata. Joey said got rid of Mata.
I mean, and we were furious that he got rid of
exactly.
But what did he do the following season?
2 trophies and the title.
The following season he won the league. Literally the following season he won the league. So we just shut up and we just we complained about it later on after we started being shit again and we were like, damn, why did we get rid of KDB and all these guys? So
hindsight,
this time we're buying young players, right? We're not going to replace Mount with a 30-year-old, which is a guaranteed hit. We're going to replace him with another 23-year-old or 22-year-old. So if these guys are as good
only in Madison,
if these guys are as good as they are, then you don't have anything to worry about. And again, with Mount, it doesn't matter if he's what do you call it? KDB or whoever, blah blah blah. Like he could even just be Ake, right? Ake in City. It doesn't matter what he is. What matters is how terrible we are. Because if we're shit, if we are shit next year or the next couple of years, and Pochettino's here, what the fans are probably not gonna like anyway, and we're not doing well, then it becomes a problem. Then you're gonna hear, then you can't close the door. It's gonna be shit. But apart from that, just make sure you don't lose. That's it, man.
My question is, and I find this weird because you've probably seen it as well. If you don't like Mount and don't rate him, then why do you care where we sell him to? You know what I mean? That's the thing as well. So it's like, why do you? If you don't rate him, like, why do you care if we sell him to United or Liverpool or Arsenal or something? Why do you care? If you don't care, if you don't rate him, then you shouldn't care where you sell him to. Because by definition, you think no matter where he goes or where he plays, he's not going to do well. So selling him to an Arsenal or a Liverpool is not good. What it should be is a mindset. Okay, you can still rate a player, but don't think he will do well for you. And that's what I think. I don't think.
I mean, Winter. I agree with that 100%. I think the club is in the same problem, right? You can't ask for 75 million for him. You know what I mean? With 1 year left, I'm sorry, you can't give the same message. He's not worth giving him.
Daniel, they're gonna have to do that for nearly every player they want to sell, man. You're gonna have to take whatever someone offers you this summer. You know
100%.
You're gonna have to take it. You know what? Listen, it doesn't matter how much. This is the one club I think where the sellers market doesn't count this summer. Yeah. It is a seller's market, right? It is their definition because of the finances. It is a seller's market. However, Chelsea need to sell. So they're gonna if someone comes in, you rate Mount 70 million, but someone's obviously 55 million, just take it. Just take it. Okay? Because if no one else is going to come into bidding war, we have to get rid of players by like end of June, not like end of the transfer window, end of June. So if Arsenal come in or Manchester United come in and say 55 million, wham bam, here you go, take it. Stop, do not.
And that's the part that's tough, right? Is that last year was probably the best year to sell him. You know, people followed my Twitter. I said it a while ago. Like he's not going to sign, guys. He's going to leave, right? So you should have sold him last year. And the reason being is
he had a good season.
Now he has most of the control, which I think is the reason why some fans are maybe lashing out. Is because here's the reality. You know, maybe certain fans didn't believe he would have as many options as he does, which apparently he does. So that being said, he's going to prioritize his money number one. He doesn't care how much Chelsea gets,
and he should do.
He gets 30 million. If Chelsea gets 20 million, 10, nothing, he doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
So
he doesn't
in his mind, if I negotiate 250 with Manchester United and they only want to play 40, that's on Chelsea's business to figure it out. Because I can just wait till my contract is 1 year left. It's going to be he can't be here next year if you really he can't. It's going to be bad for the dressing room. It's going to be. It's just he just can't. So you have to sell him. So in that way, we've kind of lost out where you could have gotten even 80 for him last year, maybe even 90.
Yeah, well, look at his numbers. He came up.
Whatever.
He was up there. Yeah, that's what.
But this year, you can't demand what I'm hearing in the media 65 for a player with 1 year left that you don't rate and has had a poor year. It's just not gonna happen.
This is not an Eden Hazard type situation. This is not an Eden Hazard where
Hazard probably had his best season in that year, number one, right?
Exactly.
So Real Madrid thought that we're getting a player that would win in the Champions League immediately. Yeah, that's not what's happening here. And I rate Mount very, very highly. He's not Eden Hazard. I don't know where this comes.
No, but that's the fans again that do that. And that's what annoys me. Fans
do stupid shit all the time. But the reality is this: you're not going to get. I predict he leaves for less than 50 because I think.
I think that as well, Dan. I think 55 is optimistic. I really do. I think it's optimistic.
Yeah, but I think he's going to push to get the wages he wants from whatever club he's going to. So they're going to push to get a lower fee from us.
And by the way, don't be surprised if he does take a lower wage than what he wants at Chelsea, because remember, there's different negotiations. It's what you think you've done for a club. You might think, oh, I can take other wages elsewhere, but I can earn a new contract there and get the wages bump up in 2 years' time, because he'll still be 26, 27. So that's what he can do. So don't and also, these guys are entitled to ask what they think they're worth. This is my thing is with it. Whether you think they're worth it or not, it's totally different. And the club doesn't think he's worth it, and that's fine. but he is in his right to ask for whatever he wants. He's in his right, and he doesn't want to go. And I believe it. Maybe it's not the contract length, but it's how the contract is structured in terms of incentives and everything like that, and the way that we're not in the Champions League. We're not in the Champions League going to get paid a lower amount, stuff like that, and that's
it could
fine.
be a plethora of things. Like one thing that he does do well is his image sells very, very well.
Exactly.
Right? He's everywhere. For some reason, he's everywhere. So he's, maybe I'll take less in base pay, but I want all my image rights.
He probably earns more from endorsements than he does wages anyway.
You know maybe I only make $5 million a year, but I make 25 for my image rights that the club might make money for. Who knows what it is? But here's where I think I might separate from you and Lewis and maybe even Jem. Is you guys might trust this board to make the right decisions when it comes to just in general, right? The right decisions with contracts, the right decisions with different things. I don't trust them either way, whether it's a player I like or don't like. Because even the players that I don't like that they've let go, they haven't even replaced them in the right way. I don't even like Jorginho. He hasn't been replaced. I didn't like Rudiger. I was here last year talking about it. Yo, he's 200K. He's crazy. Guess what he did? Koulibaly for what? 325. He's worse. So I complained. We all complain about Pulisic. You guys can have hope if you want about Mudryk. I don't listen, man. I've seen what I've seen. That's just me. But my point is this: that's where we might disagree. Is how are these guys going to replace these guys? How are these guys going to bring in the right quality? Now, the previous regime, if they lose KDB, guess who comes in? Fabregas. It's not even a question, right? But when we lose players, the players who've come in over the last 2-3 years have been trash. We lost Willian and Pedro, who we thought were completely low quality. They're older now. They can't give us anything. Yeah. The 2 wingers we got, trash. Yeah. This summer, we got rid of one of them. We got Sterling, trash. So it's like, do I have faith? No, I don't. But that's where it comes in. It's not about just Mount. Like, if whatever Mount does, it's really about that. Like, who's going to replace him?
When do we play Man United? When do we play Man United?
But it's also this
I didn't even know. Fuck's sake.
I thought this was your preview, bro.
This ain't my preview. This is just a
doing a preview.
Fucking summer talk. I didn't even know that we were playing tomorrow.
We're losing.
Jim, is there any point? Our season.
No, there isn't, Andrew. I remember doing match reaction
when we beat Bournemouth.
We'll do one against Man United and just sit here and moan about how we were set up wrong and Gallagher was playing up front.
So we'll do a review. That's what we'll do, not a preview.
We'll do a review, just to make people happy that we're moaning. Yeah. We'll do that one.
I can't believe we lost to United. Why?
Do you know what I mean? Same things. Lampard put Gallagher up front and we played Aspilicueta on the right and Enzo was played as a DM and we played Havertz up front.
I've lost a lot this season. I've lost a lot this year. I've been bantered a lot and all this. Cool. But what I have won is against Redneck, who told me Gallagher will come in and easily be better than Mount. He's absolutely horrible.
Nowhere near him.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like
he's nowhere near him.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what you thought he runs. He's not even better than Mount's first season.
See, Redneck's had some stinky agendas recently. I saw a Twitter comment from him about Madueke saying that he doesn't release the ball and this. I'm like, you mad? Madueke's actually been decent for us in his.
I got Alex yesterday. because we were talking about Mount. He goes, why he's going up to Scotland? Why are you celebrating, getting rid of Mount? And I just went to him, didn't you do the same when we got rid of Jorginho? You were celebrating.
That was some fucking hazardous fun, bro.
No problem. Funny enough, guys, Lampard has got his press conference as we speak right now, and I'm pretty sure no one's watching that because no one cares.
I don't care.
Carney.
Please, just one more.
I don't know why you don't play Carney. You played Carney for about
180 minutes away. 180 minutes away from this being over.
Yeah, what's so bad about it is Man United and Newcastle. We're just going to get snapped. Newcastle in the Champions League next season, for fuck's sake.
You know what's great about the Newcastle game? It doesn't matter now for Newcastle at all. So it's not even going to be on telly.
We'll still lose.
It's just like, I'm going to watch the relegation battle. That's more interesting.
How did we not score against Man City, though, honestly? Like, we had enough chances in that game again, didn't we? We're just so fucking shy.
I mean, who did it score again?
Sterling.
Wow. That's shocking. I thought he would come in and just kill Werner's spot, and just be the guy who doesn't miss like Werner was missing. But guess what? The fucker's missing too. So it's like, that's what.
Sterling's doing quite well under Poch, though, Dan.
You know what it is? He's going to start. He has to start next year because I don't know if people have thought about this, but a player making that much money who's English, who is popular with these young guys that we've signed is going to be a massive problem if he doesn't start like he was at City, where he was starting. Right? He wasn't even like on the bench like that at City, where he had that problem. So he needs to start and he needs to be good because this year was bad.
We're gonna
you can hide rubbish performances when you're playing well. I
forgot it was a preview, guys. I forgot we're playing tomorrow. So here you go, guys. We're gonna do a Lampard predicted lineup. Are you ready? Are you excited? We're playing 4 at the back or 3 at the back?
I don't know.
Well, didn't he play against City? 3 at the back, wouldn't it?
I don't know what he played. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I'll leave this to y'all to do. I don't care.
All right, let's do 3 at the back like we did against Man City.
Is there a card of Lampard? Or you just put it in all positions because that's what he'd like to do, wouldn't he?
Nah, just put Mount everywhere.
Mount, Gallagher, Lewis Hall.
So the news on Badiashile was awful because he's out for months now.
Is that a groin or a hamstring? Because there's been misreports about that.
I don't know, but it weren't good. So I think Koulibaly's going to play.
Probably played him injured as well.
Yeah. He'll be him. Thiago Silva, we know is going to play.
Leave him alone. Just let him go on holiday for a minute.
He looked so dejected, Silva, the last couple of games.
Make him suffer the last 2 games, man. He has to play.
So that's the back 3. Do we agree with that back 3?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
that's going to be the back 3 in it. Let's be serious. It's going to be different. So then, who plays on the right, guys? Is it going to be Azpilicueta again?
Fuck's sake!
On the ring, right wing back Azpilicueta.
Oh, I don't know.
Are there any other options?
Let's play ZX there or something. I don't know.
I don't know what he's gonna. He might play 4 at the back now. Thinking about it,
he's gonna play Noni and he's gonna play Noni and Modric.
So, what do you reckon? 4-2-3-1.
Is that what he's been playing? Yeah, that.
So who plays? Oh, Chilwell. But then who plays right back?
Chilwell's injured, isn't he?
Who plays right back?
Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall will play left back.
Chalobah. Lewis Hall's going to play left.
Right, let's do it that way. Lewis Hall, who doesn't even come up on here, so I can't use him. Sorry, Lewis. You're just going to be blank. Chalobah. All right, Chalobah. And then what? I mean, that is a weird midfield.
Right, you guys, I got to make a move, but big up, guys. Bless.
See you later. See you in a bit, bro. Take care. We're nearly done anyway. Enzo and who? Ruben again?
Sure.
Is Kante injured?
Yes.
Oh, fuck me.
He got injured in training. Well, they said he got injured in training.
It's Kovacic.
He's injured.
Oh, fuck me.
He got injured. Lampard played him injured.
So who's the front 3 then? Because Sterling's playing.
So Gallagher's going to play there somewhere. We know Gallagher's going to play.
Oh, my God. I've got to put him in.
Yeah. I think Daniel said, he said Noni and Mudryk, right? Dan?
Yeah, I think Noni and Mudryk will play.
Yeah, Noni and Mudryk and put Kai up there. That's what's going to happen. So.
Noni. I think Sterling's going to play off the left personally. But
right. Sterling, right.
He loves fucking him, doesn't he? Here we go. Look at that team.
Than that. Ooh, look at that team.
That is a world-class team there. Why don't he just play Mount there? I really don't get it. Just put Mount.
He's just come back, right? He's been injured.
He's just Mount in there.
He's just come back, so
so much better with Mount in there, though, isn't it?
The problem is, I don't know if he's gonna.
Like, listen.
He's going. Why are you gonna play
him? Bro, like, what's the point? Just play. What's his name? What's that kid's name?
Carney.
Yeah,
Carney. Yeah.
You might just go for it and put João Felix in there.
There you go. See, if you're gonna bring him back next year, Poch should be telling him he should play, right? These are things that you gotta. I don't listen. I don't know. I don't get some of the decision Lampard is making. I don't get any of it, but big up to him, man. That's my legend.
I got advice from the Chelsea fans. Do not even try and guess what he's doing because it will hurt your head. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Don't, because it's no point. It's like someone trying to convince you 2 + 2 = 5. It's just no point.
At the beginning, I got really frustrated with his lineups, and I was like, "What? I can't even work out what the game plan is with that squad." Like,
and you can tell on the pitch, Jim, they don't know what the game plan is either. You can tell on the
it's
pitch.
bad.
A lot of times we played better when I didn't understand what his lineup was. When I liked his lineup, it was shit. I was like, what the fuck? Terrible game. But when it's like a disgusting lineup, then we create chances. Like the last game, that was a sick lineup. I was like, what is this? And I see Sterling with 2 big chances. You know, I'm seeing guys getting chances in the box. Gallagher hit the post with a header. I'm like, all right. So now you guys want to create chances with a shit fucking team. But
you could really guess that he's just gone. Games don't matter now, guys. Just do what you want on the pitch. Really.
Have you seen his face at City? He just did not look like he gave a shit, did he? He just sat
out.
out.
He doesn't like these guys, and he miscalculated. I don't feel bad for him because I thought he would have learned from his first run.
Yeah, he chose to do that. Yeah.
So this run, first run, I felt really bad because we had a transfer ban. Nobody wanted to be our coach, and he came in and helped us. This run, I can't defend him because you didn't have to take it. You could have let the club figure it out. You didn't have to take it. So you took it, and now you look angry, like you hate these guys, and they're not doing this or that. They're not working hard. Whatever, bro. Like.
Yeah, you chose that, innit? You know what I mean? You stepped in, said you were going to do it, and crap happens there. You know what I mean?
Well, on that note, I asked you about your score predictions, but it don't really matter, does it? And I'm going to go because
it's against Man United, right? So draw. Draw.
Are we at home or away?
Away. Draw.
No,
draw.
Yeah,
they can't score. They can't score.
They beat us now. So
they can't, but all right, 1-0 United or a draw.
I think they're going to beat us 2-0. 2-0 United. We go with. Can't be asked. I give up. Guys, sorry about how we feel, but we just want to get to the end and start with the summer fresh, man, and get into these transfer news shows and everything and else. And look at the outgoings and look at the manager coming in, these ideas and whatever. There's a lot to listen. There's a lot to do in the summer, lots to talk on, lots going to happen. It's a big summer for Chelsea. I keep saying to people, this second has to get it spot on. This second season, we have to get the manager right in terms of the appointment. The outgoings right. He has to get the outgoings right. The manager himself for him, and then also the incomings in. We need to make the right decisions. We can't just keep spending money, on players and not understanding the profile and if it fits the managers or not. We need to get it right this time. We have to start moving forward. So we'll see what happens. Big up every single one of you guys. Much love to you. Thank you for coming in again. Nice seeing you all. Been a while. Obviously, I've been away in that, but I'm back now, so we'll keep pushing some content out as much as we can anyway. And big up, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you again soon.